with the 40th episode of the PiP Podcast. And as always, I am Jacob, and I am accompanied by my good friend Khaled. Recall. And immediately having technical difficulties. Here we go. We will continue once he... Hello, are you back?
Hello.
Hello. I've already started.
That's... It seems like,
Discord is having problems.
being very sassy today.
Indeed. Hopefully, it doesn't keep happening. But it'd be like that sometimes. Alrighty. Well, is there anything you want to start off with, or you want to get through these gaming articles and stuff first?
Yeah.
Alrighty. So there's one that's not gaming, but I think you would be interested in it. The Witcher Season 2 casts I don't know how to pronounce that name. It's like, I'll spell it Dijkstra. Do you know how to say that?
Dijk.
Yes. Stra.
I do not know how to spell it. Say pronounce
All
it.
right. That name, whoever that is, I don't know. Philippa Eilhart, Neneke, and more. So, the group includes familiar faces from Bridgerton and The Hobbit. Basically just more people being announced as cast members, which is cool. I know you like The Witcher series,
Yeah.
so
I'm trying to think of the character that. Oh, so it's a spy. Yes, but yeah, that's awesome. See how this guy is. Sigmund.
other than that, the Cyberpunk 2077 lead gameplay designer left CD Projekt Red.
Okay.
I think he was brought on, according to this. Wait. He joined CD Projekt Red as a QA tester, working on The Witcher 3 and its DLC, so Hearts of Stone and Blood and Wine. And he was given the role of junior gameplay designer in 2016 and began working on Cyberpunk 2077. Yeah, so I think people are saying he's leaving. One of the things could possibly be all of like the death threats because of the release of Cyberpunk 2077, and it wasn't like as good because he was one of the vocal individuals saying that it wasn't acceptable to do that kind of thing. So that could be why, and rightfully so. That shouldn't happen.
I agree.
Gotham Knights is delayed to 2022.
Okay. When was it planned to come out?
It was planned for August. Wait. It was announced 2020 and it was slated for 2021. It was supposed to come out this year, but now it's going to be 2022 before it comes out. But yeah, nothing other than it's been pushed back. But one of my favorite games to play with Noah in them, Payday, has finally found a publisher for Payday 3. And that is set to release in 2023. Have you ever played the Payday games?
I was excited about them, watched it, but never played it, oddly enough.
It's really funny to play with someone while they're lagging. Because we played this game with Noah when he had the really bad internet out in the boondocks, the boonies. But for instance, just because I think it's so funny, we were all at the evac site just waiting for him, and he's like, we're just like, come on, Noah, and he's like, I'm right behind you guys, I'm watching you carry him the hostage up the stairs. And I'm like, Noah, we've been up on the roof for 10 minutes killing everyone. It's practically over. We're just waiting for you to get to the helicopter. He's like, you have to be messing with me. I'm legit watching y'all walk up the stairs. I'm like, nope, you're not watching us. Those are ghosts.
There he goes, yeah.
But yep, hopefully this comes out really well. And apparently Phasmophobia in its next update, if you have a haptic suit, it'll work with Phasmophobia, which is kind of funny, and I really want to get one just for Noah.
I like how Noah is an inspiration for anything. Anything scary.
It's so funny though. He's the best inspiration. It's will you buy the $300 haptic suit? Yeah, if we put it on Noah for Phasmophobia. Because I think he wants to get a VR thing like I do. I was looking into that. Maybe in a few more months, if I still want to get it, I'll get one. But that would definitely be cool.
I just recall the the advertisements for the haptic suits are all these sexy fit people. What are we doing? Haptic suits, yeah. Oh, okay.
But it's really cool. I don't think I would get a haptic suit, but I would definitely get VR. Because I like playing Osu, and VR would definitely be up there with the Beat Saber game. That seems fun. I like those rhythm type games. Noah hates them.
I think Beat Saber is the cooler ones. I guess lightsabers and music you enjoy is always good versus Dance Dance Revolution has its place, but Beat Saber is more alluring.
Yeah. That's with the Phasmophobia. Apparently Among Us will finally have another map coming out soon. Which is cool, but that's all I have on that. The article's longer, but I don't think anything else in it's that interesting to state.
I wonder, will it be will it be another space station, or would it be a wintry planet, something close to the Thing?
It's an airship.
Okay. Oh.
So in the atmosphere airship kind of thing.
Yeah.
It looks cool from the reveal trailer and stuff like that.
Is everyone still wearing the same clothes?
Yes.
Okay.
They've already they've added more
hats
and uniforms and stuff like that. This one piqued my interest a lot though. Battle. So the headline, again, all these articles are from PC Gamer, but the headline for this is Battle Dragons and Zombie Bears in Square Enix's Forspoken. That seems really cool. There's a trailer about it. Just look up the Forspoken title announcement trailer. People who are listening, it looks really good from the trailer, but like, I want to play it so bad. It's like a really fast-paced game, the way it looks, like the movement. What's the best way to compare it? It reminds me of Infamous Second Son movement, where he's like forming into the ember, like smoke clouds and stuff like that. It's like that, but the character isn't forming into anything. They're just like speed moving. It's really cool. Respawn banned more than 700 ranked Apex players. Because they were taking advantage of a glitch to beat low-ranked players. Oh, there goes my battery. Anyway.
That's kind of sad that high ranks have to beat low ranks by cheating.
Indeed. It says they were gold ranked all the way to predator ranked, which is Predator being the highest because Apex Predator. So Apex ranks. Now I'm curious to see the whole ranking system. So apparently it goes bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, and then Apex Predator. So gold, platinum, diamond, and Apex Predator ranks got like cold, basically. Which, good on them for getting rid of cheaters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Twitch is finally making it easier for people to deal with copyright claims.
Oh, that's good.
I know VOD removals, people had to like go one through the other to remove it, but now you can like mass remove them, stuff like that. So you'll be delivered like an email, and for the DMCA notices, the video producer page includes a tally. VODs can now be deleted or unpublished in batches as large as 20. Entire VOD library can now be deleted or unpublished in one click. But yeah, all of that is to help not get channels banned, kind of thing. So good to see that they're finally catching up with that.
I know YouTube allows you to go back and remove music or something weird.
They used to. They don't now.
Oh, wow.
I know the feature you're talking about because it would be like mute this certain section of audio. It doesn't do that now.
That's fine.
It'll remove all the audio from the video now, which is kind of dumb, but
YouTube.
So apparently Valheim got a patch. It's not big, but apparently so your comfort level will increase depending on if you have rugs, chairs, and beds in your rooms. There's more storage space and just minor fixes and stuff like that. And that would be the last thing that I thought was interesting for gaming news.
So on the subject of games, have you heard of this game calling was it Millet Wait, no. It's basically prisoner, listener. A listener? Yeah. Listener. So what it is that you're this person who's stuck in a city. You're trying to escape, but at the whole time you're being overwatched by a giant police officer. And so like he's just sitting there, and as you're running you can see him up like in the sky vaguely because of his size is enormous. And if you do something, he's like, hey, stop that. And then if you try to leave, it's like you can't leave. He'll like grab you and put you down other places. But when you try to talk to him directly, he's like, I don't have time for this. I can't answer your questions. And he's just really ignoring you, except when you're committing crimes. And so you have you trying to figure away this weird city how to get out.
Huh. Like, is it on Steam? Like, what kind of game? What's it for?
Yeah, sure. I think it might be coming to Steam, but it's Microsoft.
Could be like the Windows Store then.
And I was suggest is that player can also use their microphones to talk in conversations.
I mean, it sounds interesting, but I haven't heard of it, other than you just telling me now.
But of course, there are some Russian-speaking media outlets are upset because it comes across Russophobic.
That's not my problem.
Yeah, based off of an old Steelpa, Uncle Steelpa, which is, I guess, an overwatching Russian police officer. But yeah, seems interesting enough. I do like the dialogue of the police officer. And then every once in a while, this really weird face appears and starts like looking at you, it's a person making almost like a fish kissy face with their eyes bugged out, looking at you. It just like appears on the screen.
So is it a puzzle game?
Basically, like I would feel like it's because the look of it was the guy ran to something. He's like, I need to get over this wall. But then it's like, okay, if I need to get over this wall, I need to get this ladder. How do I get this ladder? Cause a distraction. That distraction gets the people to look other way. He grabs the ladder, puts it on the wall, then goes across. So it's gonna be one of those games. Environmental puzzles, basically.
Yeah. It's weird to say, but I don't think anyone in, like, out of me, Matthew, Noah, and Trey, I don't think we play many puzzle games, even though, like, I kind of like them.
Yeah.
There are a lot of types. Like, okay, have you heard of the game Besiege?
Yes.
So you know how, like, you build a certain, like, vehicle to complete the tasks?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Anyway, go on what you were saying.
But yeah, it's very interesting because of when I play puzzles in regular video games, they come as frustrating, I guess. So like, there's what was it called? I think it's like the Path of Jin or whatever from Tekken. It was like this extra like video game you could play where it's like just a adventure beat 'em up game. And you would have to push blocks around, but it was kind of like Chris Redfield because you have to like punch them sometimes to get the blocks to go where they need to go. And so there's fighting, but then there's really a lot of platforming and puzzling for this game. There's been a few games like that where it's like, so every time when a game comes up with puzzles, I'm kind of like, ugh. I think it's all goes back to Resident Evil 2, whereas the frustration and confusion of why does a police station have so many puzzles. But I would say that, but the funny thing is my three favorite games amongst the list is Ico, Trico, or Last Guardian, and then Shadow of Colossus, which technically all three are puzzle games. But enjoy them greatly.
The there is a type of game that I really enjoy. I enjoy sitting there and playing like City Skylines, but even more so like games like Civ. I'm not the best at Civilization, but I will sit there and commit to the game. There is a game I've been looking at, like I kind of want to learn how to play. I might watch YouTube videos on it, but I saw it in like a PC review. Like they were just doing, it was Linus Tech Tips, and he was reviewing a PC he built on a giant screen. I forget what exactly the video was, but he started to play it. I think it was like at 4K or even 8K. I'm not quite sure. But he was like, when you zoom in, you can see all the little people working. And I was like, that looks interesting. I want to play that. But then I forgot about it until I saw the same video and I was like, oh yeah, I never looked into that game. I guess they're like, they would be called like city builder games, economy games.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is Anno 1800. I don't know if you ever heard of that.
Oh, that sounds familiar. Well, I know Anno, so maybe I'm just thinking off of that.
But yeah, it's like a $40 game. Still.
Really nice looking.
I know. It's like I don't know what the purpose of the game is. I just know it's an economy building game, so it's kind of like
Sim City.
I'm okay with that. I like that. It looks like a better SimCity, to be honest.
Oh, it looks gorgeous.
There is actually a spring sale for Anno 1800 and brings it down to like $30. Yeah. Still gonna look into it. But those games are like some of my favorite. Even like over RPG games and everything.
Huh.
But I found out recently, I was scrolling through, it was before I talked to you about Dragon Quest, right? But Josh has a Dragon Quest game called Echoes of an Elusive Age on his Steam account, and I'm just gonna Steam share that and play it. Might play it on stream.
That's Anno Dormini, which just means Year of Our Lord. That's where I've heard. AD.
Did you know that Prime Video has Kenichi on it?
Yes, I did. They have it English dubbed. I couldn't find the Japanese sub or English sub, so I wasn't really interested. While I will say that it does have really good voice acting, I still love the Japanese version.
Do you know, like, since it's on Amazon Prime just for free if you have Prime, you can actually Amazon Watch Party it on Twitch.
Ah, okay.
I thought that would be pretty funny or cool to do. Maybe we could do that at some point.
I wish Psycho Gorman was on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, that would be a cool thing to watch. Oh, I watched that the like Knowing movie last night.
Oh, okay.
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
I wish there was more things that weren't like witnessed. Because, you know, he gets that page of numbers with like dates, number of deaths, and coordinates.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of wish there was more to that other than just like 2 and then the final one where like everyone dies.
Oh.
But that's how it be.
Nicolas Cage.
Yeah. That's not the reason why I watched it. The first clip I saw was like the airplane crashing, and I was like, I'm watching this.
Oh, yeah. I saw the clip you sent me. Did you have any
Vikings. No, there's no more news. News is over. News is done.
Well, I got a few little blurps.
Eli.
Some of these are just comic book for the most part. So, do you know who Jason Todd is from DC Comics?
That sounds very familiar.
He later on becomes Red Hood, but he's first known as a Robin.
Yes.
So, one thing about Jason Todd was that the comics left it up to him, left it up to the readers to decide what happens to him, and they killed him, and that caused everyone then to get upset. But it's like, you guys chose it. So DC Comic is doing this again, but with another ex-Robin's pet. So there's a puppy called Doggo. It's Nightwing's puppy dog. And DC is letting the fans vote to what happens. Oh, just his name. Oh, God, thank God. His name, the puppy's name. I didn't think they were going to go that dark. That would be funny, though. I was like,
like you're like Doggo, and I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Doggo right
The
now.
meme.
Nightwing's Doggo, basically. And then what's he going to become? For those who are interested in some Marvel news, Black Widow is supposedly going to be released finally in July. That's in theaters and Disney Plus with premiere access, July 9th. Still not really not really excited to go see it in theaters.
So wait,
something.
I do have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Is the Jason Todd Robin the Robin that's in the Teen Titans?
No, that one is Dick Grayson.
No, because I just found a picture, because I typed in Jason Todd. I found a picture of Starfire in Jason Todd, and I'm like, what?
Yes, it's going to be. Because now the newer DC cartoons, they use Damian Wayne, which I enjoy as a Robin. I think he's actually technically my favorite Robin, since Nightwing is better as Nightwing, or should I say, Dick Grayson's better as Nightwing, and Jason Todd's better as Red Hood, respectively. I think he makes a really good Robin.
Wasn't there a Teen Titans show that came out recently?
Oh, absolutely. So there's Teen Titan, and then Teen Titans Go.
No, we don't talk about Go.
I do talk about it. It's all right.
No.
The thing is, so here's the thing about Go. Go was made for kids.
Yes.
That's who it's for. It's not for adults. If they loved Teen Titans, they should have watched it more so its ratings would be high enough so it didn't get canceled. But Go, for what it is, it's entertaining. It's really stupid and goofy and memey. So it's like anyone who memes should like Go, because they're meme machines.
I deny.
Teen Titans Go to the movies is a really smart, funny movie. And its sequel too, Teen Titans versus Teen Titans Go, whatever. Also a really good movie. Introducing the old to the new. Um, and so it's fine. Then there's the Young Justice, technically not Teen Titans, but there's some through lines. But yeah, so yeah, I think it's a good watch. Or just again, if you just want something goofy just to chuckle at and just be doing something. It is cool though. Go ahead. I was saying it is that Red X, Robin's character from the show when he was trying to like buddy up to Slade Wilson as a mysterious masked criminal. And then later his mantle got stolen by someone else. But he's being introduced into the DC Universe comic books, which is freaking cool that he's now there.
That is cool.
We
were talking the other day about how like Joe Manganiello is like my favorite Deathstroke.
Yes.
Even before seeing other ones. I don't know. It's the hair. The hair does it. I remember seeing clips of the Titans because it's not called Teen Titans, it's just Titans. The TV show. And
yes.
Okay, so there's another Deathstroke in it, and I remember seeing the clip of him. I don't think it's Joe Manganiello. I'm pretty sure it's Isai Morales.
Yeah.
Is that it? Okay.
Or at least it's a Hispanic actor.
Anyway, I remember seeing that and I was like, is that the same guy? Because in the clip, I couldn't see his face, I don't think. And I was like, it's not him. It's not him. I'm boycotting this.
Yeah, it's another Deathstroke.
Yeah, I'll probably, if it's on Amazon Prime, I'll probably watch it.
It's very funny where people go into the already knowing, well, how's it go? Deadpool is just a parody of Deathstroke, kind of falling into like the Marvel versus DC banter of like being argumentative. But the funny thing is, Deathstroke is technically a ripoff of Taskmaster.
Who?
So Taskmaster is this really cool character at one time. Hopefully he gets back to his glory. So he's a villain who, when he was growing up, he's not a mutant, he's not a mutate, he just has photographic reflexes. So if he watches something, he can then like perform the act. And so in school, he would use this to his advantage by watching football reels and then became like a sports star. But later, of course, turned to crime. And so he's known to carry a shield that's really reminiscent of Captain America and a bow that's really reminiscent of Hawkeye and a sword reminiscent of Black Knight. And he could fight because he looks at all of them, how they fight. He wears this like grim skull mask. Very piratey though, just in his look. But then you jump over and then a little bit later, Deathstroke comes out, who has some very, very blatant similarities to being this guy going after superheroes. So, but I love all three of them for what they are. They're all cool characters.
Indeed.
Let's see. So that is that. Also talking about like Marvel though, jumping back to Marvel. So they said that that Falcon and the Winter Soldier is the most watched ever of like
Really?
Disney Plus. Yeah, for Disney Plus.
Even more than WandaVision?
Yeah, I guess so. Because see, with WandaVision, which I still loved, it took about fourth episode for the normies to go, okay, this is fun. Who weren't paying attention to what they're trying to do. But with Falcon Winter Soldier, they're out of the gate. You know what I mean? They hit the ground. So some really cool parts in there. Like, ooh, spicy. So I did say I was just gonna just ignore it so it can build up and then try to catch up binging it, but probably not. I'll see how this. So if this week's episode is kind of a nice pace, I'm like, okay, I'll back off and just let it go. We'll see though.
I do like going back to the Deathstroke thing. So in Teen Titans, that was Deathstroke, the main overarching thing. I didn't know that as a kid. I just knew his name was Slade.
Yes.
And I would just be like, Slade.
Well, that was a weird thing though. I'm thinking of that where I was aware of Deathstroke, but never went by his name. And even though they called him Slade Wilson, it was just this one day I was like, oh, wait a second, that's Deathstroke. Because he plays a lot differently, because Deathstroke gets his hands dirty.
Yeah.
Like, that's one thing of Deathstroke. He's going to beat you up. And this character, even though I think didn't Keith Sutherland voice him? But the just smooth talking, maniacal bad guy was a kind of a strange twist. Even for some reason, it just completely took me out of those two characters being the same characters. Because they really didn't. They don't even feel like the same Deathstroke. Or the same. Well, not even the same Deathstroke. The same character, I should say. I really think it is Keith Sutherland. I was gonna have to look that up.
What? Okay. All right. I have some D&D questions for you, but I'll ask them after I know you've gotten through all you want to get through.
Okay. I think he did. Yes, he did. And so, okay, so the last thing I have to talk about Marvel thing is that one is I don't know, they've confirmed a leak or something weird, and they're just going off of the concept of everyone knows that was it Benedict Cumberbatch is going to end up being in Spider-Man, right?
Mm-hmm.
But within this report, the cool thing that they just kind of failed to mention is that so the tweet, of course, got deleted, but it's the stuntman of Andrew Garfield's, or so when he was in Amazing Spider-Man, was talking about how he's hanging on set with the stuntman who is Tom Holland's. He's like, yeah, we're just chilling out. People are like, bro. And then Marvel, Sony's like, nope, delete it. It's like, so it's a really weird what's the word I'm looking for? It's really weird when they have to like, let's try to keep it hush hush. And it's like, well, I don't know. Kind of comes down to just them being dishonest, I guess. But I guess it's now acceptable in some aspects when it comes to like trailers not having things or having things that don't exist. And people are like, okay. We'll see. But yeah, that's all I have for that. Now, these D&D questions you speak of.
Okay, no, wait. Something popped into my head. No, I can save that for the last time. Okay, D&D questions. D&D questions. This last session of our campaign, what was your favorite moment, you think? Was there any that like stick out to you as like, really? Did that just happen?
Let's see. Points that the favorite parts. I mean, bookmarked was just Democles saying, "Is that an effing unicorn?" Like, I think that one. Nazir eating the cookie.
No, where he could only whistle to like birds.
Yeah, he can only talk to birds. And then oddly enough, Gion assuring NPCs was very interesting because Gion's quite quiet, but he was actually assuring an NPC.
Wait, which NPC?
I think it should have been the advisor. He's asking for everyone's name after they give names, and then He's just trying to assure that that they're there to help, basically.
Oh, yeah.
But
For like that specific session, like getting to Lynn's and everything, I was counting on Cody to be there, but of course he couldn't make it because I did want to use the paladin's abilities sort of as some sort of we could possibly help further,
yes.
which is why I pulled out his character sheet and was looking at it. But I like that session. I like how we used Damocles as the mouthpiece in the beginning. Yes. I like that. So was he? I do have a question. Was he inferring that? Was it Valborga? Valborga? Valborga. Was he inferring that she like did like a disaster?
Just that something tragic happened there. He's inferring that Wixes are probably to blame. In that concept that, it's just like, if there was a fire, why would you at least grab an ember kind of thing? Because it causes fires. But not necessarily saying that she is 100% the cause of it, other than her ilk.
I will say, he, out of like all the characters, he was one of the most annoying characters for the sole reason is he is surrounded by ghosts and he's like, nah, there's no ghosts here. It's like, apparently it's a common occurrence. Why you say they don't exist? That was annoying.
I would say annoying, but in the aspects of doing it was quite entertaining.
It was entertaining, but it was annoying to have to like work around that because that's one of like the biggest things that we could help solve, but he doesn't believe it's a thing. So it's like he doesn't need a solution for something that he doesn't believe exists.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's funny.
Oh, okay.
Go.
So literally the unicorn appearing as soon as we get back on the road, like immediately, was pretty funny. It's like, out of all the things, like the turnaround time on that was expedited like crazy.
There's a reason why, though, on top of that.
I have a video to show you that I watched with Trey earlier today. And I told Trey, I was like, that's Gion. And then this whole song describes sort of how Gion interpreted the him and Nazir going to the Great Father.
Oh shit.
That's how Gion interpreted it. It's by NSP, so you might have seen it if you watch NSP.
Not as much. I actually haven't. All the Game Grumps I do watch, I really don't watch too much Ninja Sex Party. I think the first time I ever heard them sing was on like a late show. It's like the first time.
I want to look at it in further detail, so I'll probably watch it with you after the PiP, but it is interesting.
Now, dealing with that, what was your favorite part in that last session?
None of it. It sucked. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I liked when I got to talk to the advisor. I like that part. 1 second. Alrighty, I'm back.
Okay. Are you still back?
Yes, I am. I was being talked to through the door. No, what was I saying? I was deciding my favorite segments. Okay. Talking to the visor was fun because I feel like I did have some points to say that Noah didn't touch on. That I make now when he said the disaster thing, the tragic event, I almost thought, I was like, well, really screwed the pooch here. Like immediate, it was just like, that doesn't sound too assuring. And I said the right words. Other than that, the nightcap was pretty interesting.
That was a very
I had forgotten he had that. I'm glad the unicorn thing removed the curse of the eyeball. But at the same time, like I said, if it's useful, he'll still take it. He'll still use it.
Yeah.
So I guess we just gotta wait to identify it. Maybe. The detect magic walking back through the hallway might be my top one because it definitely gave insight. I think, like seeing the kids, and them saying like the stepfather or whatever. I think that I feel like that was a good clue kind of thing as to what could possibly be the reason going on. I'm not sure if it is the main source of like why everything started, but I can see it being that, you know, because they obviously died as kids, and why would they be haunting the castle if they didn't die there?
True.
And the fact that it was they said stepfather, meaning the female was of the Brent family line. Is that the correct last name? Brent?
Barnt
family line. I don't know. Talking to the kids, they gave good information, good insight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They came to play later. And then next thing, that was probably my favorite. The second favorite would be the odd Raven Queen vision of just statues pouring blood everywhere. The blood flood.
Blood flood. Unleash the blood flood.
Turns out those statues are petrified people.
Ooh.
Yeah, that would be my favorite part.
I would say also, like little other minor, like I guess notable points. One, being my enjoyment of introducing the gnome character. Just because, again, I'm a big old David the Gnome fan, and I was like, he's been sitting for a while. Then I keep thinking effing unicorn. There's another part that it was like, oh, it's kind of interesting. Completely slipped my mind now.
Was it Nazir telling the maid that there's a ghost around the corner?
She's the one that saw the ghost and then just tried to explain to her. I do think it's a funny meta situation where these people are suffering and they have to be like, oh yeah, there's no ghost, even though like there's an opportunity where this ghost is like walking right in front of them, and they have to pretend like it's not because they're going to get yelled at by this guy. I can't remember. I'll probably just point them out later. But yeah, but I would say though, because I was like that again. Like the interesting thing about the cap though is that Damocles uses his trinket more than anyone else. I know that.
I think his is like the most useful, and Gion doesn't have a trinket, so
he should have a trinket.
He doesn't. We've already had this conversation. He never chose a trinket. You said he could choose a trinket. He still hasn't. I think he's waiting to be reminded.
Okay.
That he can choose one.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do that Sunday if you still want to give him a trinket.
Absolutely. Let's see where it goes. Because both, oddly enough, yours and Arturus' trinkets have been written into or been utilized in your story, your backstories.
Yeah.
Like you have the letter, or had the letter, and then Cody had a white glove, or Taurus had a white glove, and that was
his
a sacred
glove.
Yeah, you said no. It was a sacred guard's glove, and that's where he found out that his mother was a sacred guard. At one time. I mean, she was a member of the Church of Tyr. Well, yeah, because Osland is a tier city, so it makes most sense. I think that's in Kira. Well, Kira brings up her trinket because it's just an eye. So she almost rockets raccoons everybody. It's like, hey, if you find another eye, give it to me. No, you cannot give Kira that eye.
I'm not giving her the eye. I want it. I want the eye. It was really cool. I like it. I like it aesthetically, but until I know what it does, I don't want to activate it.
Yeah. That makes sense.
It's like, I wonder what the curse is. Is the curse only it just can't be unattuned? Or is it something worse?
Who knows?
That's what I want to know.
Cursed items, bro. Congratulations, you got the first cursed item in the group.
Did I? I don't think so.
I think
there's another cursed item.
Oh, well, that's Rook, but I think...
Ah, yes.
No.
2 cursed items.
Slay me, Blade, slay me. It's the Trickster coin.
Nice. I know the way I like to play like cursed items.
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea of having a cursed item and not like maybe the player knows the curse, but the actual like character doesn't. So like the player keeps up with the curse, but try and get them to keep the curse like a secret from all the other players until they identify it or figure it out. I do like that. I think I actually saw I saw that recently as well, like being done on Critical Role, because Sam Riegel had a dagger, and every time he got healed, he had to mark off, like he had to use a hit die, and if like any like a magical healing kind of thing, and if he got to 0 hit die, he would just die. Like if the dagger, but the dagger was using like necrotic damage and stuff like that. I thought that was cool because everyone knew the dagger had like a curse to it. They didn't know what it was.
Yeah. Except
Sam knew, and I like that aspect.
Well, I guess if you think about it, well, I mean, because Gion's not using the Copish. The Copish, its Copish form, it does cause, like, if you get down to 1 hit point, that's your max hit point, and then you have to either remove curse so you can like long rest and slowly gain health, or greater restoration to remove it completely. Just go back to full health. But thinking about it, is that Gion chose the dagger.
Yeah. See, if you... I don't know. If I had tuned to it before the curse thing was a thing, if for some reason I needed to do something to mark it, I don't know. I would like the thought of not having anyone know what the curse was until the curse like was an actual like, oh, this is happening, not good. Like maybe if I knew, but I would like it to be a surprise for everyone else. That's what I think I'm gonna do with my cursed items. Like when I DM now, is be like, you can know what it does, so you can keep up with it, but you can't tell the other players because they have to figure it out. Like your character doesn't know what the curse is, so you shouldn't tell the other players because they might meta like unconsciously know to not do anything. If it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I say I have it with mine where it's you have to learn the curse and what it does. So everyone's kind of going into just a second.
Too bad though, there's no more cursed items in my game.
Why not?
Because it's about to end soon.
That means you should give them all the cursed items.
Nah.
Nothing ends a game. PK, my dude.
Nah. There's only one more magic item that's possible to get. And I'm okay with saying that.
Okay.
And I say it's possible. Josh is in the chat. It's only possible if they win the fight to get it. And they know it's coming up because they went there. That's the only one left. You know what it is. It's the shield.
Oh. No, I don't know. Yeah, I do. Let's say that.
No, Josh. That new item that I gave you is not cursed.
Question mark? I do think that it's I would say that in upcoming situations, I'm still very excited for the rest of this Trueborg arc. And then what Chandelier may hold for you. But also, because I did purchase 3 D20s, or sorry, D120s.
Oh, so like 120s.
Yeah.
When you said it earlier, I just thought you said like a D20 a weird way.
Yeah, no, it's so it's 3 120s.
See, they're already... Josh is under the assumption that they have to sacrifice one of themselves.
Yes.
Which technically I guess they do, but it doesn't mean they have to kill them. They can use the scroll. They have options other than just outright sacrifice.
Josh got a new character. Still got that new character smell. Trying to get rid of him already.
He's about to. I've told you everyone wants to play a dwarven monk, didn't I?
Which would be very interesting if it's basically like, imagine pre-Snow White dwarves, but all of the monks. So they all have to take names of their personalities.
I think it would be interesting. And to be fair, I think it would come down... Okay, so like out of a situational standpoint, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think in terms of survival, it would come down to who is the better person at gauging a situation, right?
Mm.
Because say if they're like Trey, I like honestly, if they're all monks, I don't think it would go the best in some situations. I just don't think that would be good. But for someone like Trey, who can see the risk immediately, because you know he's that Fire Emblem guy, I feel like he would know when to stand back and when to go in, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And try and set the odds for them instead of against them. I think there would be deaths with that, though. If they were all the same class, I think the lack of versatility, in terms of class wise, might cause not good matchups. That's just my opinion, though. We would have to see it actually go out.
It might be a Marvel situation where when they were limited to like Captain America, Iron Man, Hulk, Thor, they knocked it out of the park because of the way they had to make them work. So you were like, ooh, I don't know how you can do this. And it's like, what if I just throw them? I guess that does make him a projectile. And it's just... because if they're like surrounded by a bunch of goblin archers and they're all just catching arrows and throwing them back and throwing each other.
I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying at early levels, it's going to be hard. So
they were tempered in fire.
But I think Trey also said that he was looking in the Sorcerer. And Noah also said he was looking in the Paladin. I kind of hope they both go with those. Just because I think it would be more interesting.
If Trey's looking into Sorcerer, he can legitimately have a dragon daddy.
He could. I just want to make sure they all have a character they're going to like. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because after the module, it will lead into the homebrew with those same characters.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I get you 101%.
I invited Cody to do the module with us, but I don't think he is.
Yeah, I heard him. Or I heard you do.
Yeah.
I think he's a weekend working boy.
That would be cool though, for like, I don't know, live stream.
Yes,
You should do that, the D&D live stream at some point.
Oh, absolutely. Because with that one, I think it'd be very interesting to have it where it's very funny because you think about like, so Josh had Rue, lost Rue, has what's the new one?
Durin. No, Durin.
Like Durinford. Dorianford.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
He stinks, but sweet. No, but then so after him, then he will have that guy or whoever he makes. Might be a gal. But then after that, because I would still like for the live stream, for new characters for the live stream as well.
Yeah.
So it's just like Josh's well again, I am being presumptuous. But in that concept that if he would be one of the players at the table, then it'd be a whole nother character.
Nah, Josh is gonna be a player at the table. Yeah.
Perfect.
I'm making him be one. See, I would like that. I would enjoy that live stream. Mainly, like all the characters, I want them to stay there in the D&D room. So like the character sheets when they're done. Because if the live stream's interesting, and it goes well, then we can always just do that live, like that kind of live stream every few weeks, maybe, possibly, if you want to. And they could use that character. I don't know. By few weeks, I'm not saying like every 2 weeks, maybe like once a month kind of thing, possibly. That's up to how everyone wants to do it.
Yeah.
Because I think it would be a very improv heavy session, because you would have to, like, all the scenarios with the monsters and stuff, the combats would be randomized by the marbles. So you have to be like, yeah.
I mean, it's very funny of the concepts of like having to think back. It was in a debate about how long is too long, or DMs when it comes to planning. But I created a whole little campaign for kids in school. Like, we would do our work and then we'll turn around and like go through a campaign kind of thing. Like every class that we were together. And we sat around each other so we could just I could DM them. But majority of it, no, I think all of it was all improv. Like, it was all being created as I went. And that was I don't know, probably 6-7 months of just pure improv.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. I think it'd be fine. I think I would still build scenarios. The concepts of basically build the RPG maker, I guess. So I build the dungeon, and then let the marbles decide what's in the dungeon. 2 stats. So it's
okay, wait. I have an idea.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say it off stream, because I don't want Josh to hear it. Because I wouldn't be a player. I would be the stream and marble runner kind of thing.
Okay.
And I would be back there helping you, so I would be helping you look through books and everything like that. So, like, if there's like a monster or something you need to know, I would be that guy during the podcast. It's like, you have a question and I can go look for it, kind of thing.
You'll be my guy on the
continues. I'll be the guy in the computer chair.
That's great. Weird. That will work for me.
But if you want to finish what you were saying about the monster dungeon thing, and then we can go into the last.
Just the idea of it being populated by basically the roll of the dice makes it very interesting. I would do it. Oh, I'm doing air quotes, roll of the dice. But well, chance. Let's play that one. But in that aspects too, where it's I would like it to be spec'd out, because there's an app, definitely not a sponsor, called Dungeon Maker or Dungeon Generator, and it'll make some of the dungeons they made were really cool. I'll give them that. But then it'll go off you, you can choose the challenge rating. So in the middle of a dungeon, regular old tile and stone dungeon, it'll be octopus. How? Really? Octopus?
I think I know what you're talking about.
I was like, well, maybe I can do this. Maybe the evil wizard or whatever put an octopus in the middle of a pond or something. Cool. I had a druid summon a kraken. Well, not kraken, a giant squid. So maybe. Then it's killer whale. It's okay, I'm done. I'm done with this half. Come on, man. Killer whale. All right. Enough of that.
All right. Are we going into our final segment?
Hey. So, our segment, for those who don't know or just anticipate hearing it, is what are you watching, playing, reading, listening to? So, take it away, Yaka.
Finished watching Mushoku Tensei. And I read all of the manga from Mushoku Tensei in one night after finished watching it, only to realize the manga's not done. So then now I'm on the light novel of it, reading that. So there's 3 of them, but tomorrow ReZero comes out. Ooh, it might be the last episode of ReZero. In fact, I think it is.
Season or series? Season or series?
Season. Okay. There's so many arcs in ReZero. Because ReZero actually started off as a webcomic. Did you know that?
I did not.
Yep. Let's see here. Episode list. Aftermath battle. Yep. Next, the episode that comes out tomorrow is the final episode of the season. It's episode 50 in terms of like both seasons. So the title of it is Under the Moon, A Crazy Step. That is the title of the episode. Looking forward to that. Because I love ReZero. Listening to NSP. Listening to Ninja Sex Party. Because why not? Especially since, you know, the whole Game Grumps Danny Avedon thing came out. A lot of Danny's stuff has been trending because of it. Because publicity is publicity. That's how that works. What's this? Oh, Skate the Infinity. Next episode of Skate the Infinity is going to be really good because the overarching bad guy of the series called Adam, he's realized that the person that he likes the skateboard against, Longa, who is one of the main characters, Longa and Reki are like the 2 main characters, I would say. And the past few episodes have been like Reki dealing with how he's not as good of a skateboarder as Longa or whatever. So Longa doesn't want to skateboard, and then Longa and Reki come back together. You know, work. I don't know, friendship. There we go. That's the best way to put it. And Adam sees that, and Adam goes, well, I'm going to go against Reki again. The last time Adam went against Reki, it put Reki in like the hospital for like a few hours, and it like broke bones and stuff like that. Because what Adam will do is he'll turn around going down the hill and actually grab the other person skateboarding and like start dancing with them on the skateboards. Basically making it very dangerous and forces the other guy to bail off at high speeds and get hurt. So, been watching those. Playing Valheim. Been playing Valheim. That's fun. Think I might be playing Dragon Quest soon. And watching, reading, playing, listening to. I think that hits all the marks. How about you?
Me, myself. Reading. Picked back up Richard Matheson. I love reading his stories. I haven't got back into reading I Am Legend. I might start reading that one. I find I Am Legend, oddly enough, it's going to be dark to say a comforting story, because that's not what that is. But I don't think it's any correlation with the vaccines happening and just the situation of the movie. Even that's the cover. It's just a really good book to read. I think it's really good. Like, when you feel like you just want to be like isolated and solitary, and then it's a really cool just to read, because after a while you just kind of feel like you're in that one. Granted, there is a sneezing cat, but it's really good just like sit down and read book. There's a really good one. One of my favorite short stories are actually in that collection. I would like to do something with it. And then listening to all over the place. Testing out the speakers, getting those to work. I've been listening to like Spider-Man, into the Spider-Verse album or soundtrack. I have been listening to the piano version of Ego, BTS song. Like it is a really cool, like sounding song. The concept, and then I think still Itchy Shikari, still a cool band to listen to. Let's see. Watching. Falcon and Winter Soldier. We hit on that earlier. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Just released episode 1. It's really, really cool. I'm glad they're finally touching on things that Bucky Barnes has to deal with in the concept of both from Winter Soldier straight to was it Civil War straight to Ink. So like there's things he has to address, and it makes sense. Because technically, if you think about it, he was fighting when he went in the ice and hasn't stopped fighting since. I mean, he's just been fighting his whole 100 years of life.
I would watch that one. Falcon and Winter Soldier. I would watch that.
You could always Lovecraft Country it.
Indeed.
Because I do think it is somewhere else. So, but then technically, just because it's a 4-hour movie, I am also currently watching the Snyder Cut for Justice League. It's good. It's good. Now, the thing that I will have to address with it is that people are like, oh my gosh, it's so much better than Josh Whedon's, which I'll agree it is. But it's like, oh, this is the movie it's supposed to be. And it's some people are calling it perfect, whatever. Some people are saying it's great. It is pretty cool. But they have to understand this is also a 4-hour movie. So a lot of these directors have given 4 hours. There are some mediocre movies that would become phenomenal movies. Because you're getting to explain everything that you want to put in it. And it's on top of that, not only just a 4-hour movie, but it's also a 4-hour director's version of a movie. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, oh man, if I had more time to finish this test, I'd ace it. Well, yeah, that's kind of how it goes. But within the time frame given, then it is what it is. So yeah, it's good though. There's some things they cleaned up. Cyborg has larger parts and so forth. Some jokes are removed, some jokes stay. Definitely okay movie. Also, what I'm watching, of course, is Redo of Healer, but I started rewatching Wallflower. And it's just a great anime.
So the picture I sent the other night, that was the anime you were watching?
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
I'm watching it on GoGo though. But yeah, man, there's something, and it's very funny because I have to look at what is it for. I'm pretty sure it is shoujo. It does make fun of that style, so it actually might be shonen in a weird way. But yeah, so it's definitely worth a watch if you like, man, I want to watch an anime. It's not that long. I think might be 24 episodes. But yeah, I think we did touch on was it The Devil's Part-Timer is getting a second season?
Yeah, we've touched on that. Ooh, I do have something to add to the reading.
What is
the new My Hero Academia chapter? Straight fire. Rereading it does seem like there's like a brief time skip not that much, just like a short, brief one.
Mm-hmm.
But it like the outfit he's wearing, looking at it, I know I said this to you. The outfit looks damaged. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he has like bandages and everything. It's very interesting, to say the least. And I definitely like the chapter like title and how it ended. How it was like, it just says Deku leaves his hero academia. Did you send me something?
Probably not.
Alrighty. Well, it says he left his hero academia, and then the chapter title is The Beginning of the End, which I really enjoy. I enjoy the way he looks in this, because it looks like he's just been like non-stop fighting like villains. The backpack would suggest that he's not staying anywhere. He's just sort of nomading it. So I do think that is... I think that is one of the better chapter endings, even though they didn't show us Bakugo and Kirishima. They just sort of skipped over the two people that are in a One for All that didn't show their face yet. Yeah, they were like, they just completely skipped over. They didn't address it at all. It made me mad. By the way, it's pretty good. So
Jeez.
The setting up for like streaming over there at Noah's trays in the like the shop that Noah uses. I think it's very cool. I can already tell though that in the summer that little shed is going to be hot.
It'll be a hot box. You're right.
But I think it'll all be good. And, you know, I have this tripod now for when he uses his forge. We can live stream him using the forge with the GoPro and everything. So it'll all work out very good, very nice, simple. Don't really have anything else to talk about. What about you?
I will guess I'll just use the last bits for D&D stuff. Expectation next session.
My game or your game?
You can do both.
Well, expectation for next session, your game. Doesn't really matter, because we're just gonna kill. That's the expectation. I feel like we're gonna fuck up real bad somehow. As the Justifiers do.
I mean, the Justifiers also do succeed, so it is a nice mix hat.
There's a balance, but sometimes we succeed in solving the problem we created. My cat's rubbing against my legs. Very fluffy. What are you doing? My next game, like my session, I think.
You're gonna kill them.
Basically.
No.
I think it would be good.
I think it'd be good to kill him. No.
They're rushing through it at a pace. Like, I feel like they aren't exploring a lot, but either way, it's what they want to do. What I'm saying is, like, they're going through it at a pace to where they might get done earlier than May, which was the expected date. Like, loose, date kind of thing. The other expectation for your game is that if Gleason does not contact back, I'm gonna kill him. What are your expectations?
I don't think I have one right now. Just to see what they do. The information given to them and what that entails. I think I think it'll be a very fun session, but at the same time, there's very few and far between of it. No, I think no session I would ever say wasn't a fun session. Yeah, I don't think I ever said it wasn't a fun session. I think there's been one session. For some reason, I think my phone wouldn't work and stuff kept messing up. And that was kind of a frustration to me, but everyone was like, oh, they had fun. But it was still the concept that I know stuff is not going the way that I want it to go. But
I would say there are sessions that aren't fun, but there's a medium. It's either it's fun, which is where it's like being goofy it's being goofy and more combat-y, but then there's like it either goes that way or it's interesting. I've put them in two separate categories. So like games like Sundays would be right in the middle to where it was fun and interesting.
Yeah.
Combat heavy ones are more fun. If you're into the combat ones, and then like RP ones are usually more interesting to me if we're learning lore, depending on the RP scenario. And if it's like an RP, like a feast, that one's kind of more towards the fun side because we're not learning much. We're just like messing around.
Gotcha.
That's the scale I have. Never. It's not good or bad. It's just fun or interesting kind of thing. It's like, is tonight's session going to be a comedy, an action comedy, or like a
tragedy?
Tragedy falls in there. That's how I would describe it. When we go in there, it's either going to be like an an action comedy, or it's going to be a more I don't know what type of show. It's not a documentary, but like shows where you have to pay attention and you learn a lot, and then you can use that to solve the show before the end of it, kind of thing.
Oh, like the not the
mysteries.
Yeah, like the suspense and whatever.
Yeah, I would put it on that sort of scale, for like action comedy to suspense, because it's a different type of feeling. Because I think fun wouldn't do the game justice necessarily, just to say it's only fun all the time, because it's more than just like getting in a video game and playing. A lot of the lore comes into it, so some games are more just you're learning stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense.
Okay. Well, it is 12. Do you have anything you would like to say?
No, I'm good.
Are you ready? Well, this has been the 40th episode of the PiP Podcast. If you would like to watch us live again, we live stream every Tuesday, 10:30 p.m. to 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and every other Friday, same time but with a guest. If you want to watch a previous episode, you can find that at Oni Central on YouTube.com or the PiP Podcast on YouTube.com. And if you want notifications, please hit the follow button. We would appreciate it. And good night.